Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through the Internet's #1 Mad Magazine news review and interview channel. And today we're flipping live, and I've got the newest issue of Mad Magazine ready to flip through with none other than Kyle Bridgett. But before I do that, I have some housekeeping that I need to attend to. First off, if I look like crap right now, I don't know what to tell you. My internet is slow. And so I think they're like bumping down my uploads or downloads or I don't know. The gizmos and gadgets are not in my favor today. So if there's a drop in video quality, that is why. And I apologize. Before we go any further, please remember, hit subscribe. I'm at like 398 subscribers, 2 away. That's 2 away from 400 if you're not good with that quick math. Please hit subscribe and hit like on this video. That tells YouTube, like, hey, I like this. Show me more of this guy's stuff, or show this stuff to other people because they might like it too. Anyway, if you want to support me in another way, you can go to patreon.com/flippingthrough. I think it's in the description. I don't really know, but I can always do this too. And I have to thank those people who do support me on Patreon. That is Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Ed Meisinger, Doug Guilford, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead-Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Kyle Bridgett. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. Now, another housekeeping thing. I hope Cam Hayden is cool with this, because Cam Hayden's an artist and a supporter of me on Patreon, and he's got a pretty good Instagram, and you should wait a second, check it out. I thought I had my browser thing set up. Let me see if I can share screen real quick. Boom, here he is, and his name is Lance Goiter, which I think is disgusting, but very funny. So you can give him a follow. I just put the link to that in the chat. And yeah, he has some pretty awesome artwork. I think it's a mix of things that he's done and things that he likes. But I notice he also has a Patreon. What is that? What's that all about? Patreon. Look at that, creating comics and art. Yeah, look at that beautiful Alfred E. Newman he has there. Anyway, additionally, I'm going to make this go away. Oh, sorry, Cam. Hello to Cam. Hello to RVS Choir. Hey, I recognize you from last week. And Shane Buckley. And of course, the man of the hour, Little Cozy Nostril, Kyle Bridgett, is waiting in the wings. Please welcome, with a round of applause, Kyle Bridgett.
Man, he should get some nicer wings over here. Oh, hey. Hey, how's it going?
that was much better than the what was it you did the other time where you were like,
I don't know.
I didn't notice you. How have you been,
I'm sure
Kyle?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Good. I'm just trying to get the volume right. Good. My kids started daycare, so I'm working during the day now on comics, so feels good.
Strange for artists.
Week. Yeah, I've never been a daytime worker. I've always been a late night worker, you know. Yeah. But when you have a kid, it ruins your whole life, basically. Like everything about my life is like not the way it used to be.
Yeah. I had when my wife was pregnant, my buddy came over and he was like, "Oh, congratulations." And he's looking around our living room and he's like, "That's got to go. That's got to go. That has to get put away." It's like, no.
God, I used to hate those people. Now I've become one.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question for you. What have you been reading lately?
What have I been reading lately? Well, I just finished Crash Site.
What is that? Here, I'm going to make you solo.
Nathan Cowdery's Crash Site. Which is pretty fun. I think this is pretty new. I think this just came out.
Who is that through?
Fantagraphics. Is there a year? Or a date? I know it's this year. I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered this like a while ago. It really reminds me a bit of like Simon Hanselman and like his sort of stuff. And that is just kind of, I don't want to say like stream of consciousness indie kind of feel, but it has that kind of feel. And there's a bit in the back here, which I don't really know about, where it's like obviously there were zines previously.
Oh, okay.
So I think it really is kind of like
maybe.
I think this is an original book that sort of like draws on earlier characters. I didn't really do any research. I just thought, it seemed interesting, and it was pretty funny. And now that that's done, I'm going to try and make my way through this Guandana Land comics collection of
I've never heard
Madhouse. They're just like a like you can find them on Amazon. I don't think you can find them anywhere else. And they do like these almost like homebrew printings. So they really do have like an indie printed, I don't know why I'm using the word indie, but like a small press kind of feel. Like this is the same way you would print your master's thesis.
Okay.
Like a self-published.
I don't know. I've never done that, but.
Okay, well, I haven't done it either. But I imagine this is what you do. When I worked at Staples, this is what people would do. So like the Mort Todd books, I think that you have the Jack Davis one, where it's really kind of grassroots printing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to ask, if that would be analogous to what you were describing.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're doing. You can go on Amazon, and they have all kinds of like Golden Age and public domain comics and other material available. So I picked up a bunch of Mad Magazine knockoffs.
That's cool. Well, and like, I'm interested in a lot of like the weird Golden Age stuff, but one, I don't like reading comics digitally, and two, I don't have the money or the time to like hunt down actual copies. So
I would say these are pretty fairly priced. They have black and white versions of everything, which would be like photocopies basically. So I haven't done any of those other than for books that were already black and white. But I think like this one was probably like $20.
No, it's
like
not
4
bad.
issues of Madhouse, and it's all stuff you can read online for free. But it's nice to have them in a physical format. Yeah.
Well, look I'm going to flex on everybody.
What are you reading?
Well, I'll tell you. I'm reading two things. One, I read a real book with words in it. This book. Do you guys know this? A Confederacy of Dunces.
Yes.
I haven't
read it, but I know that book, and I recognize the cover art as well.
Yeah, I was completely unaware of it, and somebody told me about it, and it's hilarious. Apparently, it's just this guy, he died, and his mom found a manuscript, and then turned it into a publisher, or like brought it to like some college, and then it was published, and it won the Pulitzer Prize.
The Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, nice. But it's just like this very strange character, and it was very funny. But comics-wise, I'm rereading this. You know this one?
Understanding Comics, yes.
Yeah, by Scott McCloud.
I've read that several times. Have you read his other, I think it's a trilogy now.
Oh, I have Reinventing Comics, but I have not read that one. This is my second read-through of this, though.
Understanding is the best, I think, of the three in terms of understanding comics. Yeah, I do like that. Now, I mean, if you really want to understand comics, you got to pick up Comics and Sequential Art by Will Eisner.
Yeah. Well, he mentions that book
is like, that book is sort of drawing on that. But that book is really entertaining, and they do a good job. I think they're like, what's it, the Codex Newtall? He has that in there, which is kind of a neat touch. That's like a mixed tech fold-out book. And he kind of relates it to comics. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but this is like, I'm aware of the Eisner one, but I've never read that, and I don't have a copy. But I'll check that one out.
It's definitely more for industry than for.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not that people wouldn't get stuff out of it, but I mean, if you're not going to make comics, then you don't really need to read a textbook on making comics,
Yeah, that is true. But like this is, if you have not read this, anybody watching, it's like one of the, if you want like a greater appreciation of like visual storytelling, I mean, this like really blew my mind. And that's like as a fan of comic books and comics already.
I think there's another cover too.
Yeah, what is
Mine
that?
has a different cover.
Oh, nice. That one's cool. Yeah. That one's much cooler. This one has him on it. Yeah.
I think my wife's is that copy.
Yeah. I think I got this at like a Half Price Books or something.
They're everywhere. Like, this is like a massively printed book. I mean, this one has a $30 price tag on it, but I don't think I paid that. I bet there's a penciled in like used bookstore price on the inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great book. I use it for teaching. I take stuff out of there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And like some of the terms that like he uses are kind of like industry standard. I don't really know if they were used quite as commonly before that. Like he really demystified comics.
Yeah. Hey, Shane Buckley was here. I don't know if he's still here, but I don't know. Shane Buckley supports me on Patreon, but I don't know if he understands the relationship of the Patreon thing, because he just sent me another box of stuff. It's like, you're supposed to be getting something from me, Shane. I'm not just supposed to be continually receiving stuff from you. He's grateful for it.
He's patronizing you.
I certainly am grateful for it, but I'm going to do an unboxing of that sometime. I don't know. We'll see.
How many subscribers do you need before people start sending you gifts?
I don't know. I think Noah Van Skyver started it off, and then you followed because you didn't want to be one-upped, and then then everybody started just sending me stuff.
Jeez.
But
so there you have it, folks. I was the original one-up, so anybody after that is copying me.
Yeah, well, and I pull out the stuff that I already have a copy of, and I want to. I don't know if I should do it on a live stream or on a video. Here, I'm going to make this go away, but I kind of want to like pass it on, in a similar way. So I got to figure out the best way to do that. Making room so I can get more stuff. See, I mean,
that's what I was doing with a lot of stuff I sent you. Was like stuff I was just weeding.
No, it was all very thoughtful, and you had a hard time parting with it. That's what you said on the note.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I remember writing that. I definitely remember writing that.
So, should we get into this? Should we get into the newest issue of Mad Magazine?
The latest issue of Mad Magazine, the most current issue, number 20? The most current.
I guess we can't use the term new, can we? How do I get the big...
I mean, I try not to. I feel like that you wouldn't say, like, I'm catching the new episode of Seinfeld in syndication.
Yeah. Very good point. Hey, if you're watching, anybody who's watching, has my video quality improved at all? That's all. That's my only question. Well, all right, so we have this. We have I'm curious because it's like, you saw the cover that they had for promo material, right?
Was it a Jack Davis cover?
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I just went looking for it, and I was trying to figure out if I was having like a Mandela effect moment, or if this was the cover. But I was pretty sure there was a Jack Davis one, which obviously he didn't draw new. Yeah. But I can't remember. I think even someone on Facebook had said that it had been drawn for something else, and was unused.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they were just like, I mean, they've been doing that a lot with like just placeholder covers. And I think the next one is going to be a sports issue.
Okay.
Pardon me. I just ate, and now my GERD is acting up. Self-diagnosed GERD.
GERD. What's GERD?
GERD is like when I call it chronic burping syndrome. And basically it's acid reflux. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gurgling inside you.
It is, and it's horrible. Yeah. But anyway, like, this is what I was curious about. So, you know how, like, sometimes artists will draw something in the style of somebody else, and it'll be like, Wait, I have a question. Do you hear like traffic right now?
That might be coming in from me. Here, let me close my window. I did just hear a car beep, but I was hoping my rowdy.
Well, no,
my
I was
rowdy
like,
neighborhood.
I was looking for like open tabs or something on my end. So I'm just glad that it wasn't like
It was
something
on my
playing
end,
in the
sorry.
background. Yeah. Video okay. Your mouth in sync. Why 20? From what? 20. I don't know.
Number. He's probably talking about the 20, the number 20, as opposed to number. What would this be officially?
Oh,
Where did it end? Like, was it 550 that it ended?
Yeah,
So
it
this
would
would be number 570.
and it would be, yeah. It did end at 550, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's the 20 is, to answer that question, it's 20 since the reboot. So when they moved from New York City to California, they did a whole new number 1, which very common in comic books, not really common in magazines and periodicals, but you know. But yeah, what I was going to ask is, so like Tom Richmond drew this, not in the style of Jack Davis, but it's basically he redrew Jack Davis's drawing, right?
Okay, well, you know what? That's interesting because if you actually open the book, the writer credit for this cover is Duck Edwing.
Really?
Yeah. So I was actually going to ask you. I was kind of wondering if like maybe Duck Edwing had a like something in the like Evergreen file that wasn't used, and maybe they like gave it to Richmond to do a cover.
Huh.
But was this the same gag as the Jack Davis?
I think so. Here, I actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look.
Do you have it?
Ad.
I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. Just before
I think it's in
the show.
I think previews has. Here we go. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm wondering now is, did maybe Duck Edwing wrote this for Jack Davis?
Yeah. Here, we'll. I'll add this to the screen.
Yeah.
Um,
So I wonder if Duck Edwing wrote that, and this redraw, this reimagining. Because as I understand it, this was not used. This is not actually used in like at least in a Mad issue.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was kind of I don't know, not strange, but I don't know. I guess I did think it was strange.
So this is my guess now of what's happened is that I'll try not to yell. I always yell. I think what happened probably is that maybe Duck Edwing wrote that. Jack Davis illustrated it, and then maybe they gave it now to Tom Richmond.
Okay.
And that's why they're crediting Duck Edwing there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's so bizarre though to see two things, or the same thing drawn by two different artists.
Yeah. It's like that draw me in your style hashtag or whatever.
Yeah.
That you see.
No.
So before we move on from the contents, you seem to be flipping pretty quick.
Yeah, sorry.
What do you have under at 43? Page 43.
43. Hollywood Insider. Kong jealous of Godzilla's Walk of Fame star.
Okay. That's not been printed before, right? There's no indication that's been printed before.
No.
Okay.
And then
All right,
remembering.
we'll talk about that more when we get
Okay.
to page 43.
All right. This is like, now my interest is piqued.
Yeah. And also we've got this Harvey Kurtzman cover reprinted here.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Good job.
I hope my camera isn't doing it justice, but it is such a cool illustration.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised they didn't reprint the original Ping Pong, which this is from. Actually, it might not have been the same issue. I don't know,
Yeah.
but does it say Ping Pong? But there is
No.
a King Kong from the original Mad, and they didn't include it. I think probably because of the way the natives were depicted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that is
almost
one of my
certainly.
favorite original Mad bits.
It's like that Mad cover where it's Alfred E. Newman as like a black guy, Vietnamese guy. Yeah, like all of these races.
Doesn't hold up.
No, it does not hold up. I can't imagine that they'll like redo that one either. But now you had said you had reached out to me and you said, "Hey, I have a lot of thoughts on this issue."
I do, yeah.
Was that sincere or is that silly?
No, there are a few things. I was curious about the cover. I was curious about that thing that I mentioned already. I was, I had thoughts about what I just said about ping pong. There's some other things. Also, I have kind of like a maybe I'll mention it when we get to it, but I have kind of a soft spot for the 1980s King Kong remake.
Yeah.
So which I think is covered in here.
Okay.
So
here we have
Son of Mighty Joe Kong. Okay, we're gonna start with Swinging.
Well, yeah, Swinging Jungle Tale by Jack Davis, and then Umberto de la Torre. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
It'd be funny if he was like, it's Humberto de la Torre. I'm from Michigan.
It's pronounced Prahias. This is like I mean, it's kind of silly for me to go through this because I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen Mighty Joe Young?
No.
So there's an original Mighty Joe Young. It was sort of made by the I can't think of his name now. I should have looked it up before, but the special effects guy who did the original King Kong movie from like the 20s or wherever. Mm-hmm. This is sort of like he did a Mighty Joe Young movie where he uses all the same effects. Okay. And it's a big gorilla, but not as big. Yeah. And he's more endearing. Then there was a remake in the 90s, I think.
Is that... Yeah.
Maybe had Brendan Fraser, I'm assuming. I don't know.
If it was the 90s, yes.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, all right, so I just recently saw the original King Kong. And like that, the love affair wasn't there. Like his infatuation with Fay Wray. That came later, right? I mean, in the 80s. What do you mean? Well, like he...
No.
No,
it was just Beauty Killed the Beast. That's even the last line of the original King Kong.
Well, I didn't make it to the end.
Beauty Killed the Beast. Yeah,
he had a...
But you know what? It's edited, though. You don't know what version you get, because they definitely cut down... Because it was... I believe that's a pre-Hays Code movie, right? And then as it was popular and re-released over and over again, they cut out a lot of scenes. So it's one of those movies where you don't know what cut you're getting. Yeah. Because there's some side boob in it.
Okay, well then maybe I saw one of those that would fit my prudish demeanor.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, this is...
I love that movie. I think that movie's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I've been on this whole kick of like old monster, specifically the Universal monsters. But yeah, I've been...
But he's not a Universal monster, though.
No. But I mean, in that exploration, I've like checked out some other things like old Toho movies as well, and that guy King Kong. Demir, Disney did the 90s remake of Mighty Joe Young.
Was Simon Fraser in it?
Simon Fraser.
Yes, Kong pulled off her dress, the scene got cut. Yeah. So that's the romance. Which, I mean, for the 20s, that was like you were married at that point.
Yeah. Well, I remember like watching it, and they're like, we can't get an actress, and so he just goes like a soup kitchen, and it's like, you come with me, and he just grabs the girl. It's like, you're desperate,
been a while since
right?
I've seen it, but
yeah, it's good. I liked it.
But if you like the special effects, Mighty Joe Young, the effects are even better.
All right,
like it's like that effects guy at his peak. I should know his name, but I don't.
Here, I have to look. Writer Dick DiBartolo and artist Mort Drucker. I wanted to give those artists and writers credit. Here we have Godzilla Takes Manhattan. Artist and writer Don Duck Edwing.
So this must be really early in his in his drawing career for Mad?
No.
Passes. I
It
got the
says-
digital copy down here.
Yeah, down here it says 1998.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe he's getting old? I feel like the artwork isn't his best. Or I guess maybe that's just because this is the 1990s Godzilla.
I
That
think
looks
it's
like shit.
I think it's like he's so good at drawing the big nosed, short, squat people that when it comes to like, okay, draw a dinosaur walking through Manhattan, that's a little bit more difficult for him to do, right? Like,
Actually, you know what I'm thinking it is? I think it's the digital coloring. This is 1999. This wouldn't have been in color.
oh,
Although, actually, the people on the next page don't look great.
oh yeah.
So, I mean, 1999, he must have been getting pretty old.
Yeah, when was his last appearance? I think I did a
don't
thing
know.
for him about first appearance and last appearance thing.
He was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. But I mean, like, he had his thing, and he did it. He did his thing well, but he didn't really have the range of, like, Aragones or somebody. And I mean...
No,
even,
definitely not.
You know, so...
But I liked his style. I thought he was... he's very, very funny. I was into it. I liked all his little books, the paperbacks, too. He did a lot of those.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very funny, and I didn't realize... he had started at Mad Magazine purely as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was writing Don Martin's stuff. He was, he started,
Yeah.
I guess, basically ghostwriting for him. Because his first appearances weren't even credited in the magazine to him.
Yeah. And he kind of eases into it, and then he sort of comes in a big way. But he
Yeah.
was mostly doing paperbacks. Like, he was doing a lot of paperbacks. If you go look at his credits, you try to look about where his first drawings come in. He's already got a bunch of paperback credits beforehand.
Yeah.
So those things must have been selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Hotcakes. When was this
RVS
originally
Choir.
printed?
This was, well, if you're talking about this issue or like the stuff, the items in the issue span space and time. And so we have, we have the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, the 2000s, the aughts, I think, yeah. So really every decade they've pulled material from that's just sort of relevant to monsters. But this issue
I think
itself,
specifically Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh,
I think this is like... They do seem to stick to those two.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I misunderstood what you had meant. But yeah, this issue came out last month or earlier this month. I don't know, but Oliver Fraser was not in the '90s remake.
You mean Simon Fraser?
Yeah, you mean Brendan Fraser?
Brendan Fraser, that's the one. Wait, who's Simon Fraser?
I don't know. All right. Here's a class. Like, this is the recurring thing. The scenes we'd like to see. There we go. Oh, look at that's nice and sharp. Look at that. Artist Mort Drucker. I kind of like Mort Drucker's realistic style. I think it's so cool. Like, I don't know.
It feels a bit like he's doing an homage to Hogarth's Tarzan
Yeah.
comics a bit. Would have like a, they have like a really like 19th century vibe to them.
Yeah. I like, and look at, he even has like that dumb haircut that they gave everybody back then, right? Like Prince Valiant.
The Prince
with
Valiant, yeah.
You know what? When I get 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to get a Prince Valiant haircut.
There you go, like the Conan.
Yeah. Like when we, that's like it seems like a fairly short window of when bangs were acceptable on men.
Well, it was all throughout, basically from the fall of the Roman Empire up until like the early 20th century. It was
Oh, really?
acceptable.
Oh, I thought it was like
If any media, like any bard I've seen a picture of, has that haircut. Any
Yeah.
royalty seems to
Oh
have that
yeah,
haircut.
the guy from Shrek.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord Farquaad. Yeah.
So this is the one. So this is the 1980s King Kong. Now my little sister, who's about 4 or 5 years younger than me,
Mm-hmm.
loved this movie, and we had it on VHS, copied. Like my dad rented it from the the video rental place and used the two VCRs and put it on a tape for her. And she must have watched that like 2 or 3 times a week for like years, and she was obsessed with this movie and Harry and the Hendersons. So there's something about
Yeah.
like big brutish men that women tame that she was really into. And so I've seen this many times, and definitely before I saw the original. And so
Yeah.
I have kind of like some nostalgia for this, even
Now-
though I think this is roundly considered to be like a big flop.
I have a question. Well, I've heard there's a podcast I listen to, and one of the guys on the podcast speaks of this, the 1980s King Kong, as like one of his favorite monster movies. So I think like
Oh, really?
yeah, I think that there's like a cult following to it. I've never seen it, but
I think
I don't
some of
know.
the effects are really cool, like the big animatronic heads and hands, and when he rips
Yeah.
the snake's head. But then you go back and watch the 1920s one, or whenever it's from, and he's fighting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's a much bigger production, and this is toned down.
yeah.
It seems like you got to go bigger if you're remaking it.
Hey, I have a question. Is your sister single, or is she?
No,
is
she's
she-
married with 3 kids.
Okay, so now what does her husband look like?
He's like a
Is he a-
gorilla, like a gorilla from the zoo. Silverback. No, her husband's like a strapping young man.
Oh, okay.
But I don't
The
know
wedding
where it
vows-
came from.
The wedding
exactly.
vows
But
were
there's
like,
something about
"I
it.
love you."
She was really Coco the kitten. Instead of rings, they exchanged kittens. She was just really into animals and like things like that. But for some reason, those 2 movies, Harry and the Hendersons and King Kong, that was on the same VHS tape on long play, and she just watched them over and over again. She freaking loved those movies.
Yeah, I just rewatched Harry and the Hendersons with my children, and
Oh,
it's
does it hold up?
Yeah, it's great.
There's
It
not like a
wasn't
big
as-
racist scene or like a scene where Harry like sexually harasses a woman or anything that ruined it.
No, and that's
No
like
homophobic
movies of-
slurs.
I don't. There may have been one of those. They were. I mean, it was the '80s. They were throwing those out. Like
My wife and
they
I
had holes
watched.
in their pockets.
My wife and I watched Teen Wolf
Yeah,
like about a year ago, and man, that does not hold up. There's like so many, like every like line is a homophobic slur.
yeah. It's yeah. That's a hard one. I had. All right, so I had a student a couple years ago who in 3rd grade, the assignment. One of my students, I assigned the class to write a story, and we had gone through all this planning, done a lot of work, and the final thing that she turned in was a synopsis of the movie Teen Wolf. I was like, you didn't write this. What are you talking about? Like, why are you turning this in? This wasn't the assignment. And this child was somewhat dumbfounded. They were very proud of their work, and they expected high marks for it. But
Did they make it many salient points or?
no, it was almost like a Cliff's Notes of it.
Oh,
Yeah. But it was, I found it
Kids.
very amusing. And so did their parents.
yeah, I bet.
I was like, they're getting a bad grade, but you might like this. Here we have the King Kong remake was from '76, though, not the '80s. The original King Kong was from
you go.
'33. Infra Imagine, hey, thank you for joining us, bro. We got 11 people watching. And if you haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. That it helps out. It tells YouTube to tell other people to come here. Anyway,
Well, there you go.
sorry.
I was thinking the late 20s and the early 80s, so I was wrong on both accounts.
Yeah.
Now, by Price is Right rules, I get the 1920s one. That one counts because I got close without going over.
Yeah.
But I'm like definitely wrong on the 70s one.
Yeah. Well, all right. So talking about maybe the desire to not reprint things that show natives in a unfavorable light, there are. I mean, I don't know. Perhaps not as bad as ping pong.
I think ping pong is. I'm trying to find it here so I can see up close.
Yeah.
I want to really see this racism up close. Yeah, I mean, at least he's wearing a mask. You know.
Yeah.
It's not just like his face. There was a warning at the beginning of this issue.
What?
About the content. I think they do this
yeah.
now about the vintage stuff.
Yeah. The vintage Mad pieces reprinted in this issue were produced in a time that was less mindful and sensitive to matters of race, gender, sexual identity, religion, and food allergies. I think that's a very fun way to lighten it up a little bit. The text of these articles is presented mostly unaltered and with crossed fingers for historical reference. That mostly unaltered.
Being that flippant about peanut allergies, though, I think is, I think that's damaging. But other than that, I think it's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah. Well, and because there is a group of people who are will read warnings like that and be like, you fucking snowflakes, you don't need a warning before it. But it's like, all right, I mean, some people want a warning. And so
I think it's good. I think it's smart to do the warning. I think that's like covering your bases. You're saying, I'm going to reprint this stuff, but either you don't reprint it or you change it, or you put a warning and then you just do it. And I think their readership at this point is probably, in retirement homes. So it's probably not that big a deal, right? Like I imagine they lost a lot of their 12-year-old readers when they left newsstands.
Yeah, I imagine so. Also, I don't know. I'm still waiting for a scoop that will give me some information on the future of Mad Magazine.
I'm a little bit more optimistic than I was when we first met. At that point, I was on team. They should just kill it because it's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. But now I kind of feel like maybe there's a path back. I think canceling Mad was seen as sacrilegious on the part of AT&T and probably contributed to their dumping the DC material onto Discovery Channel or whatever it is. Discovery Media. I think so. Well, and having it in the hands of people that actually make things. The quality of which is debatable, but at least they're in the business of creating and selling things. So the idea of just reprinting a Mad magazine, I think the case could be made to them to let's bring this back. Yeah. But I just feel like it's so unlikely that a new magazine would start or an old magazine would come back to the newsstand format. I feel like once you've given that up, you're not getting that back. I find that maybe they'll be in comics. I still think the way to go is to turn it back into a comic book format. Yeah. And try to sell more earnestly through the comic stores.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But it'd be hard to renumber it. You wouldn't want to start back at number 1 again. No. When you're only 20 in. I don't know how they would do it, but I'm happy anybody there has a job.
Who cares, right? You just
you could go back to the old numbering and say this is number 5. You could really piss people off and say this is number 551.
Yeah, well, what was it?
I mean, I'm in issue 2, so
yeah,
I'm not really in favor of renumbering either.
Hold on, I gotta look something up real quick. Oh, shoot. I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it. Anyway, how about this? When the price went over $1, they lost me. Let's find out.
Oh, get lost. It's cheap. It says right on the cover. It says cheap.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Hold on. Let's find out. That was back in... I mean, it was like under $1 for kind of a long time.
I'm in Canada, so it's always been more here. I think when I was reading it, it was like $3 Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you have no sympathy.
Yeah, yeah. We're paying like Canadian money.
Let's see.
You gotta bring like a big strong guy to hold all your change, so you can afford to pay for mad. So you can lift it up into the counter.
Yeah.
Price went over $1.
Issue 232, July 1982. That is when they went to $1.
I wasn't even born.
That was probably.
I didn't start reading Mad till like 8 years later.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead after you.
All right, thank you.
Anyway, as I was saying, no, sorry. I'll just shut up.
All right, the football Twin Towers gag doesn't age well in a post 9/11 world. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. Hold on. I mean, the thing is, though, it's like with 9/11, if you recall, like people were making 9/11 jokes really soon after 9/11, right? I mean, like people, I don't know, maybe it's just my generation, like millennials. They really, well, maybe I guess more Gen X were the ones who were making the jokes professionally, but it seemed like that was something that people were able to joke about pretty quickly.
There was definitely like a period of time where you couldn't, but it wasn't very long.
No, I mean,
like I feel like now it's almost more offensive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like nobody's making. How long before Pearl Harbor jokes were acceptable?
Pearl Harbor jokes.
Do you know any?
I don't know.
Ones?
I don't know any good Pearl Harbor jokes. I know that's what the announcer on Gorilla Monsoon used to call it when a wrestler would attack another wrestler from behind.
Yeah,
it's Pearl Harbor. But that's not really a joke. That's like a metaphor.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're in the ring, you can't really be. You shouldn't be able to be attacked from behind, right? It's not even a good
Well, as long as the
metaphor.
person attacking isn't Japanese, it's not racist. I think that's what's the what they decided.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor, still too soon.
See,
I would have spelt it Harbour, but that's because I'm Canadian.
Yeah, but that's a misspelling.
I mean, not necessarily. Not if you're describing what it is. Is Pearl Harbor the proper name?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I thought that was just it was a harbor named Pearl.
No. It's not like, hey, pull into Pearl.
I still would have spelt it that way just out of habit.
Yeah. Bob Hope did a few in his Christmas specials.
Really, Bob Hope doing 9/11 jokes. You need some new material eventually, I guess.
Yeah.
I think this was the 9/11 joke he was talking about, though. I think you zoomed in on the wrong page.
Oh, jeez, because I'm an idiot. I'm not observant. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, the Manhattan Monkey Monster, or the Manhattan Monster Monkey Shine. All right, yeah. Yeah, I could. All right. It works, though. When was this originally printed? 1988.
Weird. So he signed it duck. Okay, he's got a duck on there, but he doesn't have his traditional duck.
Yeah.
Normally he has this little cartoon duck. Although I do like this little woman running there. I like her little arms up and her mouth.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, she's good.
She's just losing her shit the whole time.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. God. Oh, all right, here we go. Pearl Harbor. That's how you spell it.
I think you... Is that the one you did too soon?
Yeah, never mind.
Pearl Harbor.
I get it. All right, I get it. See, I'm not observant. Got Silly.
So this is the '90s Godzilla, right?
Yeah, this is the one where they had Puff Daddy doing music for it. They had Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, the dude
what
from
could
The Simpsons.
the dude Dan Castiglione? That guy?
Yeah, was it him or the other one? One of the Simpsons voices was on here.
Oh, I forget the other name. But the other name is actually an actor, so I should probably remember that one. The guy who did
Yeah,
Apu.
he was the one. Yeah, Harry Shearer, was it?
Oh, I'm thinking of a different one altogether. Hold on. Get the internet in here.
I can't think of the Simpsons voices. They were all just the characters to me.
Yeah. Hank Azaria?
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know. I think he's Hank Azaria is the guy who actually I feel like
all right, I'm just looking at the IMDb here.
All right. That's probably the smart move instead of like going backwards from The Simpsons.
Okay, so we got Matthew Broderick. Is he on The Simpsons? Harry Shearer. It was Harry Shearer and Hank Azaria. So we were both right without going over.
Yeah. Hey, they did the Foot Gag again. Oh, Hank Esquire. Hank Esquire is related to Harry North Esquire. They have the same last name. Look at it.
Oh.
I didn't notice that.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't notice that either. That's a really famous cover too. So they must have they've actually laid out the background kind of similar too, eh?
Yeah. Well, Angelo Torres
cool.
is a pro. Of course he's going to do something like that.
Yeah, you can't knock him.
Mm-mm.
That's for sure. I like this black bar at the beginning, like the sort of opening scene, and then the title.
What are you talking about? Oh,
at the top.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back over.
That's pretty cool.
Or are you supposed to read the first two panels, then the big scene, and then jump over to the text?
No, because it's, so we have, it's on an iceberg. What did we strike? We struck a rehash of a 30-year-old B movie, hokey Japanese monster. Then that was interesting at first, Captain. Then it got tedious, and then stupid, and then it just got silly. So
that's a really interesting, flow.
Yeah.
Right? Because it takes you on to the second page and then back to the first page without being like a 2-page splash. But I don't know. I like that. That's neat.
Yeah.
I like seeing those sort of examples. I also like this Barney getting darts thrown at him. Man, people really hated Barney in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know why.
There's a lot of violence done to Barney in jokes and media.
I think maybe because he was just too pure, right? And now
I think that was it. He didn't fit in. He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't didn't have enough attitude.
Yeah. And there's a lot of kids shows now have this certain level of cynicism to them, and I don't like kids shows anyway. There's a few cartoons that I'll watch with my girls, but yeah, there is this sort of base level of cynicism in the shows, and that show is just, it's not at all that. It's
no, it was definitely very sincere.
Yeah.
Pretty hokey.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was good.
I remember playing a Wolfenstein 3D skin in the 90s where it was you played as Beavis and Butthead and you were shooting Barneys.
So it's, instead of the Nazis, you're taking out Barney.
Yeah, and it was all Beavis and Butthead themed otherwise.
That's awesome. Oh, wait. All right. Harvey Esquire commented on my assertion that he was related to Harry North. No comment. That's comment enough. I get you. What if he was Harry North Esquire? That'd be pretty cool. 7 easy ways to defeat Godzilla. This is here. I've got to zoom in on this. When was this from? This has to be the 2000s or something.
The title's not right on here. What page is it?
27.
2014.
2014. Look at that. So here's the thing is, I mean, I don't think this really shows his work super well, but this artist, Herman Mejia, I love this guy's style. I really, really love it.
The watercolor stuff, you mean?
Yeah, and like the way the way he does watercolor and like how it's like these very distinct shapes of color, and so like when he does that with faces, especially, I don't know, I just really like the effect that it has. And also, he's one of the few people where it's like if he's I don't know, like his original work when it was being printed in black and white, but like this translates to black and white really well because of the I don't know, value, is that a word that would be relevant?
Yeah, value is like high value is really bright and low value is very dark.
Yeah, so like all of those just work perfectly. Like if you copied this black and white,
it's got
it would
good
look
contrast
beautiful.
too.
Yeah,
yeah, it's very nice.
I want to talk to that guy. I really like his work.
I do like his work. Oh, this is from 2014. You could probably get him on.
Yeah,
I like the little Godzilla running away at the end. I don't know. Maybe I jumped the gun, but I think it's cute.
Here, I mean,
it's not little, but the drawing is little.
So here this is like some really great humor. Dispatch Dennis Rodman as an unofficial U.S. ambassador to reason with him.
It's a Kim Jong-il joke.
It's just, I mean, like, okay, I guess it was topical.
Or Kim Jong-un. That's Kim Jong-un, right? What was the big one? The first one.
No, I think it was. Oh yeah, Un is his son, right?
Is it Un the new one? Il was like Kim Jong-il was like he was the one in Team America.
Yes, and Kim Jong-un. Yeah. Make sure Detroit is the first American city he sees. He'll assume the U.S. has already been destroyed by some other monster and attacked Canada instead.
That's kind of true. I mean, I remember because I grew up in Windsor, Ontario, where you can see Detroit out the window. You know.
Yeah.
You see the GM towers, and I remember driving around. Like whenever we drive through Detroit, you know, it looked like a bomb went off. You know.
Yeah.
In the sort of post industrial period.
What I don't understand, like when I was a kid, I thought, well, it must have been that Detroit was like booming at some point, and then you watch movies like Beverly Hills Cop, which is like the early '80s, and it's like, oh shit, it's been like that for decades.
I think it was. I think
totally
sort of like
down.
the Reagan era was probably like the end, like the death nail or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm assuming around there because that's when you get like Robocop is set in Detroit too, and that would have been the early '80s.
Yeah,
I think someone's going to come on and say actually Robocop was the late '70s.
No, you have to be right on that one. Robocop was definitely the '80s, right? I don't know.
So this is another John Caldwell from 2012. So this was originally in color.
Yes. Right? Yeah. Listen, I don't know that. I kind of want to go back to that. Do you really think that it's the digital coloring that wrecks this?
I mean, I don't think it's a great bit anyway. That whole
Yeah.
like Godzilla takes Manhattan, but I think it has been digitally colored, and I think that probably is hurting it. Like it's not like hurting the line work, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Especially like on the poop, they've got all like the gradients and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, not all line work translates to sort of like shading and stuff. You know, if you use flat colors, you can usually get away with it, but
Okay.
a lot of digital coloring doesn't look good.
Oh, that's, the other thing is, I got in contact with Susie Hutchinson, who is now doing all the art direction. And I invited her on the show, and it was right after they did the sale to Discovery. And she was like, I would have to put in a request to do an interview because I'm the de facto president of Mad Magazine right now. And they're going to say no.
What must her life be like to like just be like, due to a very weird circumstance, she just ends up being the art director of Mad magazine. Like,
yeah, and like
they brought in a ringer. And then like they like escorted him out of the building, and it was just like, well, there's nobody else left, so
yeah.
now she's just doing like, if she keeps her head low, I guess they won't cancel the magazine.
Yeah,
it's like Mad's running on autopilot.
I wonder if it's hard, like if she's like just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and like, you know, any week could be the one where they say, oh yeah, by the way, you're out of a job now. Thanks.
I'm assuming she must have like a contract or something, so
okay.
I'm sure if they cancel her contract, she gets like paid or something. I hope. I mean, but also the thing is, if Mad makes a comeback, she's going to be forever seen as like a hero, right? Like, she'll be seen as the person who kept it alive, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because I'd hate to think she would be like seen as like the person who oversaw the like literally the worst years of Mad. Like, I don't want to knock what they're doing too much, but
yeah,
I mean, it would be hard to claim another era of Mad, even like the early ad period in color.
Yeah.
And say like, oh well, you know, this is better than that.
Yeah, I would say anybody who would view it in that light of her like just being the overseer of the worst era would have. I mean, that would be like, you're a dick.
Well, that's a historical view, I think. Though I think if you look at other, like if you look at TV network heads or, you know, like a comic publisher head or whatever, it's like they're sort of seen as like responsible for the shitty stuff, even though like anyone can look at the situation and see like she wasn't supposed to be there. she's keeping it alive, so what do you want? But I wonder if like Mad comes back like 50 years from now and people look back, they'll just be like, this is this period. Oh, Susie Hutchinson, she was the editor when they weren't doing anything new.
Yeah,
you know. So I hope that doesn't affect her. I mean, most people have nothing but nice things to say about Susie.
Yeah.
Like, people love Susie.
Yeah. Well, she shows up every once in a while, like if I'm doing an interview, and she'll like say hello in the chat, and whoever's on is like, oh, Susie. Yeah, I've heard like nothing but just wonderful things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I hope we can have a conversation, because one of the things I want to know about, and we talked about it with the last one, which is these reprints, because it seems like they're scans of original artwork.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Maybe not with this one. Which one did it come through? I think it was like this one right here, where you see like the wash rather than having it sort of like flattened out and smoothed out. You can see
that could also just be the better paper, and you know, it could be a better scan. Maybe it's from the original artwork, but it could also be slick paper and digital printing. Oh, there she is. I shouldn't have been so nice. Now I'm embarrassed.
Oh my god! I hope I didn't say anything dickish, because I'm going to be like sending an email in a month saying like, "Hey, come on by, pretty please."
Come on down to the Shark Tank.
Susie, yeah, I hope you understand, and I hope we conveyed the happiness we feel that somebody is at the helm who's keeping things afloat. So
yeah, what I would like to see is Mad come back, and then Susie get to oversee a new renaissance of Mad. You know, that's got me all this.
Look upon his works, ye mighty, and despair. Oh my goodness. Shane Buckley, I'm still hopeful Mad will make a big comeback. Going to comic format is a good idea. I think that could be really, really
like the
fun.
only. I just think like probably comic guys are reluctant to pick up a magazine format because it's not going to fit in their long boxes, you know?
Yeah. I wonder what that would look like, though, as far as like the internals, right? Because you wouldn't really be able to do something like this with a comic, would you?
Yeah. It'd be smaller. I think you'd want to go to more sort of back to its roots of the comic format.
Yeah.
more. Maybe something more like what they were doing with the Potter ZB comics.
Okay.
Potter
Yeah.
ZB.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked that.
But you could still do like Spy versus Spy, no problem.
Yeah. You could do Spy versus Spy. You could even do the movie parodies.
Yeah, and you could maybe do them more like comics. I don't know. I like that. What Harvey Esquire just said, but the problem doesn't seem to be that Mad is too expensive. The problem seems to be that Mad doesn't make enough money.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't have any marketable properties that can be turned into billion-dollar movies in China.
Yeah, well, that's like something that has come up in other interviews, like with Kenny Kyle. He was explaining with he had a recurring like comic story, and he was saying that like part of that was Mad saying like, or like WB saying like, let's try to get some stuff that we could make marketable, like that we could turn into other property, like IP, right? Is that what they call them?
Yeah. Intellectual properties.
I love that you guys read through these. It makes all my hard work feel appreciated. Just don't be too hard on the colorized versions. I may or may not.
We have been kind of hard on the colorized versions mostly. I know you didn't do them all though. Some of them are like reprints in color. I don't know. Maybe in this issue. I was going to complain about this one, which isn't recolored. I don't love the like die cut look around some of these Caldwell figures. That the background. I mean, maybe it's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this. Well, hold on. This is all I want to say to Susie is that I'm very interested to know about these older reprints and the quality of those, because it, like we've talked several times about it seeming to have just more detail, and if that is from the materials used, or if that's the scans, or like what makes that difference. Anyway, don't tell us now though, because I hope to interview you very soon.
She didn't do this one. Okay, well now I'm gonna really complain. Yeah, I don't love
this one sucks.
I don't love the die cut around like the yellow line around the figures.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of not giving the artwork enough room to breathe, and like Caldwell's work is just so gorgeous to look at. I love the little wiggly lines. It's printed too small here, really.
Yeah, his stuff is just absolutely beautiful. I like his depiction of Godzilla. I don't know. It's just like this isn't focused. God damn it. There we go. Like with Duck Edwing, right? Like his Godzilla looked weird and oddly proportioned, and this is just like, I don't know.
It's like perfect. He didn't even try to make it look like Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just like, here's a dinosaur, something that vaguely resembles a lizard dinosaur thing.
Godzilla's well known for having like triangles down his back, like Trogdor.
Yeah.
Consummate V's.
What's that?
It's Consummate V's.
Where are you reading this?
No, that's from Trogdor.
Oh.
So Strong Bad said when he was drawing. You know what Trogdor is, obviously.
No.
Like, you don't?
I don't.
Okay.
Kyle, here's the thing. I'm gonna fill you in on a secret. If I don't know what you're talking about,
you're just gonna act like you do.
I do.
It was like there used to be a internet cartoon called Homestar Runner.
Oh, I remember that.
And so one of the Strong Bad emails they did how to draw a dragon, and they did this dragon Trogdor, and then they did a bunch of video games and stuff with him in it, and that's what he said when he's drawing him. He's like, consummate V's. Draw an S and a more different S. It's some good language to describe drawing it.
Yeah. I got a Mad lot on eBay that had 32 issues in it. Aaron Grimm.
Nice.
That's real nice. I love those.
I mean, depends how
love
much you
those
paid,
eBay
though.
deals.
If you paid like $1,000, it might not be worth it.
Yeah, don't tell us what you paid.
Unless they were all like Mad #1.
Yeah.
Not the remake.
Yeah. I had to say, like, I love those lots, but I've had to stop buying them because this is suffering from success, right? Yeah, I have too many like the holes in my collection are very like so narrow now. I can't just buy random collections anymore. It's hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Finally, some Dave Bird. So refreshing. I felt like this was getting a little bit too
funny,
left wing. We had to bring it down a bit.
Oh my gosh! Oh, here this
is a classic one. I remember this one from when I was a kid.
Demir, the only IP Mad has is Spy versus Spy. How can they make the upcoming movie with 2 silent characters? Demir, they don't. All they have to do is make another video game. That's all they really need to do. And I mean, I don't know. That's they option like movies all the time, and I've heard nothing about that Spy versus Spy movie since Max Korn's initial reporting on Mad News. So yeah, I don't know. That could just be sitting, dead on the vine, basically.
Yeah, I don't know what you would do. I feel like anything you would do to flesh it out couldn't be good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like it could be a prove me wrong situation if it was like stop motion or something, and they really like treated the characters with the right respect and did it just right. Maybe they could do it in an interesting way, but it seems like they won't.
Yeah.
I mean, there hasn't been really any good Spy versus Spy media. Maybe the Nintendo game or whatever, if you really like that. I never really could play it, but I know some people do like that.
It would be like, and they wouldn't do it. They would have it would be like Kevin Hart and Chris Pratt. Those would be the voices. Yeah. And
they shouldn't have voices, really.
Yeah.
Other than giggling.
And then they would have kids. Like, this is what would happen is that one of them would be married, and then the wife would die, and it would be a mix of Pixar and...
I think the way you do it is they're like constantly killing each other, and then they have to have a change of heart or something and sort of go through like a big adventure, and where you think about like what it's like to get older, and there's a lot of jokes in it for adults too.
Yeah.
It would have to be like one of those, but I think it would be hard to do. Like, out of a million versions that you could make of it, one would be acceptable.
Yeah.
No, maybe.
That actually, I totally forgot about this. Bradford Smith, friend of the show, sent me the contact information to the guy who made those Mountain Dew commercials.
Oh, wow. Those are great.
And I reached out to him, and then I forgot to respond to him again, but he's open to do an interview. So maybe I'll try to do that for great. August.
Like, that is an example of, one, that's the right length of time to do a Spy versus Spy thing. Like, it's not... You shouldn't do a Spy versus Spy that's 2 hours, Which, like, that's probably what it'd be. It'd be, like, all the spies lined up in a big epic Marvel, like, final battle and stuff. But they're the right length, and they really, like, the look of, like, the sort of silent film look really captured the feeling in a neat way.
Yeah. The Spy versus Spy movie would probably be like the 2021 Tom and Jerry movie, but with spies. Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet.
I have, and it was pretty painful.
Oh, was it good?
No, I didn't. I mean, it wasn't my I brought my girls, and they enjoyed it, and that's what matters. But I did not enjoy it very much. It was, I don't know. It seems kind of like a fever dream. Yeah. The original art for the lighter side piece on the lower left side just sold at Heritage Auctions for over $3,000. Wait, the lower left? You couldn't even get me to read this for $3,000.
Well, that's the thing about Dave Berg is he's just such a master of like craft and form, and just like, really like a real like classic humorist. And so of course his work commands high prices. He's just so good, I do like this first one. The last one in the pool is a rotten egg. I always liked this one when I was a kid. I remember reading this. When is this from? So it's listed as 1968, 1975, and 1978. I must have read it in a super special or something, because I remember this one vividly.
Oh, so this is like a compilation of just summer themes from multiple.
Oh, is that what
issues.
that means then? Okay,
But
I didn't read that correctly.
Because they weren't reprinting this stuff 3 years, like on a 68 to 75. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think.
You're right. This has been cobbled together.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's what they did. Well, wait. Did they? Because they used to have definite themes, and then it was just random things. Yeah, okay.
It's hard to say because he traces his own work.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. The best of the... See, Susie Hutchinson is now. She's throwing some shade at me.
Oh, the best of...
Oh, okay, she misses the...
right there.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Well, it doesn't say the best of. That's where I was confused.
We are
like,
dumb as hell.
But it is hard to tell with Dave Berg because he did trace, and if you go through a bunch of lighter sides, which, I mean, who wouldn't go through a big stack of lighter sides? You'll find like the exact same artwork cropping up over and over again, the same poses, the same figures.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course he did, right? He was doing like 6 or 7 strips like every issue.
Well, according to that letter that Max Korn showed on that live Mad News, I mean, he was doing 5 pages into the 90s.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I mean, it's
what a page hog.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to have cheats, right? It's like when I was a kid, I didn't realize that like comic artists use, or like any artist would use reference. Like, I thought you just had to draw from your mind. And it's like, that was the first time. Like, I assumed that would be like cheating. Right? And then I learned about light boxes, and I learned about all this other stuff that artists use to make their job easier because...
I remember when I was in art school. I didn't go to light school. I was in art school, and they were talking about the Baroque period. And I remember my professor saying, like, well, they used a pinhole camera. This is all garbage because they just traced it using a pinhole camera. And it's like, it's still pretty amazing textural work they've done here.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there is also something about, maybe like because I'm colorblind, I'm still impressed by it because, like, I mean, I could not trace a beautiful drawing and make it look beautiful, but then also like the coloring, right? Like to match something, like the way the light is hitting it in a way.
There's a lot of making it up too, I'm sure.
No, it's beautiful. You'll see characters of the old New York staffers too. Bill Gaines, Nick Meglin, John Ficar show up a lot. Yeah, there's like Gaines right here.
And like, was it Kaputnik's always going to his doctor, and like Kaputnik is Berg, I assume.
Yeah, it always seems like it. Yeah,
but then his doctor is somebody too, which isn't in here. So actually, that's my big complaint about this Far Side is they always ended with Kaputnik at the doctor.
Yeah. So is it the best of? If there's
maybe none of those were good. None of those made the cut, but I did like that ending. It was very reassuring.
Yeah. Yeah, I never read them.
This is like such a 60s, 70s Gain. Must be 70s Gain. He's just like kind of dumpy. Doesn't have the majesty.
Oh, I turned the page and I was like, is Gain is that an art term?
Oh, Gains. Did I say Gain singular?
Yeah.
Sorry. I've been drinking.
All right, look at this. A mad look at King Kong. Beautiful Sergio artwork.
This is before he really like started doing the big mad look at logos at the top. This is just like some font choice that they've picked.
Yeah, well, and I think this is well, what year? Does it say the year on this one? One thing is that, I mean, this surprised me when I found it out, that he didn't invent the mad look at.
No.
You know, there's like mad look ats where it's like Paul Coker does it, or you know, whomever else. And yeah, I mean, like, obviously he owns it at this point, right? Like, nobody,
Yeah.
you know, there's a reason his name is synonymous with it. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
I think some of these were in the big completely mad table, coffee table book. You know, the big square one.
Yeah.
I think some of these were reprinted in that. I used to read that a lot as a kid.
Completely mad. I don't, wait, do I have that? I don't know.
Is it completely mad? It's the this one.
Here we go. He's retreated to his library. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got that. I got a copy of that. It's like on the floor right here.
It's pretty good. I've had like probably 5 or 6 copies.
Yeah, Inframagine, Dave Berg did some really beautiful work pre-Lighter Side in the 1950s. It almost looks like a different artist in style, 100%. And I'm going to do, I think I'm going to try to film it this weekend. I like to do first appearance videos where I look at the first appearance and then last appearance and then a bunch in between of artists. And Dave Berg, I completely agree. His earlier stuff is amazing and it's really cool looking, and even early Far Side stuff I find delightful.
Wait, Far Side or Lighter Side?
Did I say Far Side? Oh, that's what I keep calling it, the Far Side, the Lighter Side. Yeah, early Lighter Side of I really enjoy quite a bit. So
I think Patrick's been drinking too.
Yeah. No, I haven't. But and then it goes to this, right? Dave Berg was like the corny grandpa I never had. He, at some point, it shifts to something different.
Yeah. I mean, I like the early Dave Berg. I like pre-Mad Dave Berg as well, like his Golden Age stuff. We looked at some of that.
Yeah.
He was doing like kind of like Good Girl comics.
Oh, hold on. Did I tell you? I think I told you. I don't know if I showed you. Here, talk about something.
Oh, jeez. Now I feel like I'm on the spot. Oh,
wait, I don't need to do this.
You bought this thing.
Yeah, I bought this.
Is that the one that has like Dave Berg drawing Hitler and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
And he's like a big tank.
Yeah, and I think that's why I bought it. It was like Tank Hitler, but it has a bunch of people like like Joe Orlando's in it, and I think maybe Jackie.
Oh yeah, with Wally Wood. It's like Joe Orlando and Wally Wood penciling and inking each other's stuff. Yeah, that's a really weird issue.
Yeah,
I forgot how many Mad guys were in that.
Yeah, so I bought it, and it's worth it. It's worth every penny I paid. Which, if my wife is watching, I just paid a penny.
Someone just mailed it to you.
Oh my God.
I've got all the tricks for when stuff comes. You know, it's like, oh, I'll just slip that in my coat as I come in. I'll leave that in the entryway, and then I'll retrieve it later when my wife is asleep.
There's this radio guy, this local radio guy, who would talk about how he was like, it's called like the 3-day rule, and he'll bring something into the house and leave it somewhere in his house for 3 days, and then when his wife comes across it at some point, he can say that's been there for a while. Like, I've had that for a while. But it's
3 days is a while.
Yeah, just that subterfuge of like, I have to put it, like, not hide it, but somewhere where it's not immediately noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. This is a classic right here. This was from the 90s, I think. The Mad Celebrity Cause of Death. Oh, yeah, because it was probably from that 90s Godzilla reboot with our guy.
I love the lettering.
Yeah. Is that just a font?
Sort of,
or do you think that's hand lettered?
I'm guessing it's a font. This T looks exactly like the other T.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like I do like that font.
Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they made the font. Maybe they just bought it. I do like it, though.
Oh, here we go. Originally,
I would have done something with the second T, though, so it wouldn't stand out so much.
Mad 370, July 1998. Writer Mike Snyder, artist James Warhola. And these are like, I thought these were fun, and they continued it on for like, I mean, into the modern age, right? Like they would do these in the Fundolini pages. House font. I don't know what that means.
Just a font that they use
in-house.
Okay. In-house, yeah.
Very good. See, that's why you're here, to help decipher this.
I really hope she stays for a couple more pages, because I have a big question when we get to 43.
All right. But yeah, I always liked these. And they went from having like the full page thing down to being like itty bitty, but like stuff like this neat little illustration of the guy pushing the lawnmower.
Was it David Letterman ticket stub?
Yeah.
Map in
New York City map, Metro card. Yeah, it's just lovely. I want to read these, though. Godzilla Cause of Death. Deadly bacteria infection from wading up New York's East River. 2-1 mugged on the way to New York premiere of his movie. 3-1 chokes while trying to swallow Rosie O'Donnell's whole head. I don't know why. That kills me. Killed by Rodan and Mothra out of jealousy over successful movie career comeback. Mysteriously dies while in New York City police custody. Oof.
Godzilla didn't kill himself.
God. Is that an Epstein joke?
Well, it's whoever, anybody who killed themselves. Killed themselves.
Gruesome failed attempt to mate with the Statue of Liberty.
That's how I'm gonna go.
And here we have what King Kong is this? Oh, this is probably the one with Jack Black.
That's Peter Jackson right there at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And he's making it Tom Cruise. This is Tom Cruise on the TV screen.
Oh yeah, that great thing when he was on Oprah's show and he jumped on the sofa. The entire cast of the original 1933 production of King Kong makes cameos as the bones worn by tribesmen on Skull Island.
This is page 40. So that's weird. That's like a lead-in to this.
Yeah. Oh, and this is Mejia.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah. So is this from a different date?
I think it's not a lead-in.
Okay, it's just in here.
Yeah.
Okay, weird.
King Corn. Yeah, dude.
That's a lot of writers for one page.
Oh yeah, there's 2 writers.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Everybody needs a helping hand. But I just love this dude's style so much. Like the way, I don't know, it just feels very unique the way he does the caricatures. And like what I mean by that is if you look at like somebody like Sam Viviano, all of his characters, like they share certain features, like these, like the cheekbones, he'll emphasize on everybody. And that's not, I don't know, I feel like Mort Drucker did stuff too, where it was like sort of like the focus on the nose, regardless of the person. But like all of these seem so very unique, and I mean,
they're just unique.
Yeah. I guess that's it. Is that it's like there isn't that sort of common thread except for his coloring of it, like the paint.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a like it reminds me a bit of like the little Annie Fanny, like the Harvey Kurtzman, Will Elder, like the sort of painted style that they used on that comic. Have you ever seen that?
No, that was the one they did for Playboy, right?
Yeah. And it was all like painted and like really, really lush and colorful. Some of the little chicken fat in this kind of has that same feel because it's all soft and like painterly.
Yeah. I love if like you scan over, there's the Skipper and Gilligan over there too. I just love those guys. Yeah,
that's an obvious throw in.
It really is.
I did a kids book, like a Nova Scotia kids book, and when I was doing Sable Island, I was like, just throw Gilligan and the Skipper in there. Kids will ask their parents. That's what I did when I would read Mad and I'd see something. Who's this? And then my parents explain the reference. And then I would know.
House Industries is a super cool font company.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay, so that's actually like the company is called House Font.
Yeah.
That's a little deceptive of them.
First piece was a part of a bigger one. All right, yeah. Art was too good not to put in. Yeah.
Okay.
This King Corn seems to be too much text. Well, that's just, the splash page that this is like very common with, I mean, we have established that RVS Choir stopped reading in 80? So, but I feel like this is all throughout.
But this is what your extra buck got you. You got all these extra words. The old Mads, Yeah. They were practically in Braille.
But they would do the big splash page and introduce all the relevant characters, and then you would go into like the more traditional comic story.
There was definitely a format, yeah.
Yeah. But those natives look interesting. Yeah, I don't know that there's a good way to draw natives.
If you're white.
Well, Herman Mejia.
Yeah, he's probably not. I don't know.
He could be a Spaniard.
Could be a woman. You don't know. So this is right now the page you were just touched. That's Hollywood Insider. King Kong jealous of Godzilla's Walk of Fame star never printed before. Right, that's page 43 right there.
What? Uh-oh.
I was just trying to understand what was happening here. I honestly kept flipping because I have the digital copy, so it's really actually a pain in the ass to flip through. It's more like clicking through.
I'm going to trademark that. Yeah, look at.
I was trying to figure out, is that a joke that I don't get? Or is that a mistake? Or is that
I think that's an oopsie.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering maybe if they've got like a format plugged in. Oh, made you look. That's what she's saying. Susie's saying.
What?
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
We got.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Because honestly, I was very confused by this.
Listen, we've already established, Susie, that we're morons and we don't even understand a best of, and now you're doing this to us?
I'm literally on a large list of idiots.
Look, I actually have to take this out because I have to send in my subscription info.
You're renewing.
Yeah, I gotta renew. Oh, this is what else I'm going to ask. Oh, never mind. I can't spoil all the questions I'm going to ask Susie. Okay, here.
She's not coming on after this. No way.
She might. Listen, how come there's no more suicide humor with the subscription stuff? Right? Don't you remember those great ads that they would have where it'd be like, why kill yourself just because you missed the last issue of Mad?
I don't have this actually in my digital copy.
Well, yeah, that's because this is special for me because this is my last issue.
Okay, so that's like an add-in for
Yeah,
people
this is
with
the wrap.
Okay.
That it comes with the mailed version. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so that's Susie. Don't answer that question. I want to. If I get you on my show, I would like you to answer it there. Hypocrisy. They keep these representations of natives from the 2000s, but they won't show representations from the 50s ping pong parody.
I do think the 50s ping pong parody is more shocking, and they're more present. There's like a full panel where it's just like zoomed right in, and they've got like the like top hats and big lips and like
probably red
card.
Yeah,
like it's fairly shocking.
But probably more. This is going to sound weird as far as like a depiction of a person of color, a more traditional depiction as you would see in like the 40s and 50s, right?
It's closer to the stereotype from that period. Whereas like the stereotypes closer to our period, it's like we're more blind to them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like there's still like racist stereotypes everywhere. You know, they're just like, I don't know, they're just like more acceptable now. You know.
Oh, you know what? All right, you raise a good point. And you think the representation of the natives is a no-no. Don't ask about suicide. Fair enough. And here this is... Oh, wait. I didn't mean to cut you off totally. I just kind of got cracked up by that.
Wait,
yeah, did I cut you off? You
didn't cut me off, no.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
no.
I think that's probably it, is that it's just like the ping pong ones are too glaring. And, yeah.
The problem is it's misogynist. That's the problem.
Oh, all right. Natives mass suicide good. No, that's not what I said. Cut it out. Listen, Demir, you know what? We'll continue this conversation next week when I play the next level of Spy vs. Spy on the Xbox.
Oh my god. Ugh, it's the worst. This game sucks.
I'm going to beat the game, okay? And you guys
watching you play it is just so frustrating. Watching you play that game is like watching someone trying to open a door with a key card that doesn't work. It's just it's upsetting.
Demir, don't say that. Jeez Louise.
You should send him a helpline. Do a wellness check.
You better hold on for next week.
Yeah.
I love
Patrick will never beat that game without you.
I will never beat the game without you. But listen, I'm getting better at it. Don't you remember that last time I played? I was a lot better. Now
it
just
still sucked.
Listen,
the game sucked so bad. Oh, can't believe it.
Listen, I'm going to say this because this is my conscience is starting to creep in, and I work as a teacher, and I'm a mandated reporter. Demir, if that is not a joke, please call 911. All right, man. Don't. Yeah. Anyway. But I think it was a joke.
Well, this is a big
but if
downer
it wasn't,
now.
well, yeah, but I mean, goddamn, you know. Then I don't see him next week, and I get all worried, and it's like, well, what if I should have said something, you know? And then, anyway.
Yeah, what if you go to see him? And it's like an investigator using his account, saying like, "I'm investigating a suicide." It said that you might have catfished him online.
His note said that you said suicide was cool. You kept asking, "Where's the suicide?" Anyway, okay. God damn it! All right. Oh, look at here's Giglin's Island, and here we have.
So how does this fit in? How does this fit in? What's the link? I mean, I guess the Spy versus. Okay, so islands count.
Yeah. Well, and plus,
Okay.
like you can't. All right, for example, you can't have an issue of Mad without Spy versus Spy. Okay.
That's
Um,
true. Is there a King Kong Spy versus Spy?
Probably not. Oh, here's Demir. That was a joke. Okay, you called the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, not 911. So
I thought
you
that, but
are.
I didn't want to get pedantic. I didn't want to get
Well,
pedantic about it.
I'm sure they could help you in some way, right? Like they could
Probably
path you
not.
through. Okay.
Probably not. Get off this line.
Like, are you on fire? Click. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Anyway.
They're just like, "Hi, I'm suicidal. Hi, suicidal. This is Dad."
Listen, I feel like this entire show has been a series of setups for me to look like a fool. All right, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Well,
And
imagine how we feel.
I hope you feel pleased with yourself. Okay.
I do. I feel very self-satisfied always.
All right. I gotta
Always.
get some water.
I like Sam Viviano's signatures on like a little piece of paper on the island.
Where is it? Oh, that is very cute.
That's
I can't
cute.
zoom
I also
in
like
on
these
it.
little silhouettes. He does a good job of like capturing the characters in silhouette.
I wonder. I don't think I'll be able to capture that with this.
No, they're
camera.
very small. They're
Yeah,
like,
you have. Yeah, well, so and then he uses like for contrast, Gilligan's little Dixie cup has that's
Yeah.
in white. The skipper, like the little medallion on his hat, is in white. I'm not. I'm gonna zoom back out. You can't really see it. But yeah, this is what I was talking about with. I think like this panel in particular, you see that head shape that Viviano does, right? With the
the big,
is that-
the big guy, like these bones right here,
yeah.
the big jawline. There's a couple. There's some classic Mad comic book reference here, with Robinson Crusoe. I can't remember what the parody was called, but that's Robinson Crusoe from the Mad parody of Robinson Crusoe.
Dude, that's a very good eye. I would not have noticed that. I would have been like, who are these knuckleheads over here?
I recognized them from Mad. It took me a minute to figure out who they were. I mean, this is Mad, but I mean from the comic book from the 50s.
Yeah. Wait, who is this guy? Isn't this little fellow down here? That's like, isn't he from
Mr.
Andy
Magoo.
Cap? Oh, Mr.
Magoo.
Okay.
Andy Cap's the drunk that beat up his wife. Or got beat up by his wife. I can't remember. I think he would beat up his wife. He would get drunk at the bar, and he'd be like, now it's time to go home and beat up the wife.
Yeah.
And then after that would be BC.
No, wait. No. She would beat him. That's what the thing was. Because she had the rolling pin.
No, that's the father. Everyone loves father or whatever. Oh, would she beat him with the rolling pin?
Yeah, her hair was always in the rollers, and she would have a rolling pin, and he would come in smoking a cigarette with his little cap down, and he'd be
I think he got a few cracks in too. I think it wasn't all one-sided.
All right. Well, either way, it wasn't a very good relationship.
No, Flippin' Through does not endorse spousal abuse in any direction.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me out with that. Susie Hutchinson talking about the choice of things like this Gigglin's Island. Trying to mix it up a little bit with Tarzan's Best of the Lighter Side and Gigglin's Island. There's only so much King Kong and Godzilla you can put in without making the reader fall asleep.
That is true. Like if you have a theme, it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword. Like it does make it feel like you have a purpose for having a whole bunch of stuff, but at the same time, it's kind of like restricting.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I imagine that next one, the so it's like we've covered some really bad topics. No, I'm not going to say what I messaged you. Without. But what were we talking about?
You and me?
Yeah, just now.
Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Magoo, Andy Cap beating his wife.
No. That about trying to mix it up. I imagine next.
Yeah.
So the next issue that comes out, that's going to be sports, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot easier to have sports all the way through and have it still be relevant. Like Spy versus Spy. Uh-oh. Is something wrong with my internet? or is something wrong with Kyle's internet? I don't know what's going on. It seems like Kyle perhaps has dropped out. I'm going to wait until I can hear that beautiful buzzing sound coming from his room. If I am, I'm going to just say, have I gone down or am I still viewable? Anyway, I'm going to assume that people said that or have answered that. If you have not already, I have 13 viewers, 12 on YouTube, 1 on Twitch, which always impresses me. Who is it that watches me there? If you have not already, please hit the thumbs up button on the bottom of this video. And oh, my power went out for a second. Cam. All right. Kyle killed himself and you are up. Wonderful. Very good. In this episode of Flipping Through, racism, domestic violence, suicide, next time, narcotics. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Shane and Harvey. I appreciate it. I got my brother to subscribe. Excellent. Very good. Yeah, I still got to do mine. Oh, yeah. What I was saying is please hit a thumb up on this video. That would be pretty awesome. My computer needs to start up. Okay. Hey, that's pretty good. In the meantime, what am I going to talk about? I don't know. Hooray. Oh, probably to the subscription thing. Anyway, so I have, I guess I'll fill people in a little bit on my plans. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. 2 of the hopefully upcoming interviews. We have, as I mentioned, I'm in contact with Susie Hutchinson. This Susie Hutchinson, the art director of Mad Magazine, the person who is putting these together, who is currently keeping Mad Magazine alive. Hopefully we'll be able to negotiate terms of an interview. And also the maker of the Spy versus Spy Mountain Dew commercials. I've gotten in contact with him and I hope to invite him on for an interview as well. If you guys have any mad artists or writers that I could like get in contact with, please feel free to let me know because there are so many and I just contact the ones that pop into my head, to be honest. So I know there are so many that I could still invite on. I've only had a handful of interviews. So like I've said many times before, I want this to be like a video museum of Mad Magazine. Wow, this chat room is nicer than mine. Well, Kyle, if you treat your viewers with respect, that's what you get back. All right. That is just how it is. Please get. What do you mean? Please get? What am I? Oh, Sergio. Please get Sergio. That'd be nuts. I would love to do that. I don't know if I could. But yeah. We'll see. And I think Kyle is coming back. Have you noticed no Sergio in margin drawings? I think I saw one. I just didn't draw attention to it.
There are Sergio margin drawings.
All right.
I'm back.
Okay, sweet.
I was thinking, though, because I was watching you on my phone on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was thinking if Susie can't negotiate... to come on, she should just come on like the masked magician, that ruined all the magician's secrets.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
No, or else we could.
She could be the masked editor.
We can make a Bill Morrison mask that she wears over her face. I'll be like the follow-up interview.
She could just wear that motorcycle helmet, the
Yeah.
Super Dave motorcycle helmet she's got in her profile pic.
And
sorry, that's a form of doxing.
What, saying Super Dave?
No, describing someone's avatar.
Oh. Here's one that I noticed, which is Batman on the crapper.
There's another Batman one in that same parody.
There's
Also new Sergio.
Whoa.
Are they evergreen?
Wait, what is the no to? Appearing on the show or the idea
Probably
of you
me
wearing...
me doxing her. Everyone's gonna be able to find her. They're gonna look for Super Dave. And
I think it's probably no to a number of things. And also, it's Evil Knievel.
oh, is it? Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Super Dave
I'm so
Osborne
embarrassed.
was, you know, it was a Evil Knievel parody. So you're not totally off. Price is Right rules. I think you still get
I used to watch the Super Dave Osborne show when I was a kid. That's probably what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Was I've only seen like one of the... I was just saying, to my idea of the Bill Morrison mask.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's always so frustrating to have a conversation through the chat because of the delay. Whenever you're on, I'm just like yelling at my screen.
Oh, wait, like when I'm on playing the game or when I'm on your...
When you're on just talking to someone, and I'll make a comment, and then, you know, a couple minutes will pass, and then you'll bring up the comment, and you'll think it's related to something else that you said later. And then I'll be like, no, this thing. And then you're just like, you're reading through my tirade of like, no, this thing. And you're just like, whatever. Every time it hurts.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not a professional.
Well, that means a lot. Coming from you, that means a lot.
Wait, what? Me like just blowing off your
apology.
comment?
That's just what you say, yeah.
All right. So Gigglin's Island, we can look at... Oh, remembering Frank Jacobs. What are you clicking?
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to where you were in the book here. I'm clicking through here. I got the digital copy. Here we go. Remembering Frank Jacobs.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I mean, I will read the whole thing. I'm just not going to read it right now. Sadly, longtime contributor to Mad's Poet Laureate Frank Jacobs passed away on April 5th, 2021 at the age of 91. One of the most prolific contributors to the magazine, Frank set the standard in satire and musical parody, planting virtuosic earworms into musically demented minds of Mad readers for nearly 6 decades. Mad would not be Mad without the words and mind of this brilliant humorist. He will be truly missed. Yeah, I think
I'll pour a little bit
out
for him here.
Yeah. Kyle's clicking ruined my moment of silence.
Well, you should have put mute on. I got to get one of those arms. Those microphone arms that you've got.
Oh yeah.
Because mine's right on my desk, and it really picks up the noise. Like I start typing, it really comes through.
God.
Wish I had a megaphone I could just hold up to the microphone right here.
Yeah, you can get these online for like nothing. They're cheap. You know.
So am I, evidently.
Yeah. Well, listen, Frank Jacobs.
Listen, if I buy an arm for my microphone, that's another book that I can't buy.
Listen, this is not about you. This is about Frank Jacobs. All right.
That's true. That's
okay. Frank Jacobs, my favorite writer. One of the few people who has successfully done parodies, like written parodies of rap songs that, one, actually sound like a rap song, and two, are not totally cringeworthy.
It's true. He definitely he was a good writer, and it's very sad.
Yeah,
it's very sad that he's dead.
91 years old.
He has a great legacy, and what more can you say?
Yeah. See you later, Frank.
When you're poor and when you're rich.
Here we go. I thought my "See you later, Frank" was very funny. I was expecting uproarious laughter from you, Kyle.
Was that a joke? See you later, Frank?
Yeah. Jeez Louise, okay.
I thought you meant like in heaven.
Whatever. Listen, just laugh at my jokes, okay?
I didn't know it was a joke.
Well,
You should have a... See, on my channel, I've got, like, uproarious laughter I can just click. And if I make a joke that doesn't land, I can do that.
you have a soundboard?
Just in the video tabs, I've got a bunch of clips that I can throw up. I've got laughter. I've got booze.
I haven't seen those.
I've got a USA chant. Pull that out on July 4th.
My favorite one is when you have to say goodnight and I love you to your wife. And you have
Yeah, she doesn't like that one so much.
She doesn't? That one's the best, dude.
She's like, marital difficulties.
But it's not just that. It's like you have this thing where you're like, oh, and if you're watching and you're not aware, you got to check out Kyle Bridgett's YouTube channel, Little Cozy Nostril.
It's the Nostril Zone. Little Cozy Nostril on YouTube. The Nostril Zone. It's my live stream. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 Central Time. I'm moving up an hour. But I listen to tunes, and I draw cartoons, and sometimes I click through comics, and sometimes I have guests.
I was a guest once.
You were a guest once. That was fun. It was fun. Usually I'm just working on whatever I'm working on. And that's kind of the concept.
Yeah.
But they'll give you a grant in Canada to do this, so you better do it. I gotta do something or they're gonna make me give the money back.
If you want to check it out, I just put the link to it in the chat. So if you're on YouTube and Twitch, it showed up in the chat. I don't think it shows up on Facebook. But yeah, give that a click and subscribe. It's pretty awesome to watch an artist at work. And yeah.
I mean, I usually eschew the term artist. I prefer cartoonist. But
I'm sorry. It's always fun to see a cartoonist at work.
I call it play. I don't like to call it work.
God damn it. Who's going to replace these guys when the world is so easily offended? Me? I don't know.
What?
I'm
offended
Kyle?
that you capitalized offended.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that's all about.
Beaumont Michaels, that's a new face here.
Who's going to replace these guys when you think he's talking about Frank Jacobs?
No, I think he's talking about you and I.
You and me, are we offended?
No.
Or you mean replace us when
we're so
other
offensive.
People? Oh, we're offensive.
Yeah.
I mean, my odor is, but I don't think that comes through.
Yeah. Suzanne, call me.
Does that work?
It's like an AOL chat room in here.
ASL. I mean, I do think people could be a little less offended. I think people forget that there's value in doing transgressive art, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to do it well. So I mean, someone like Johnny Ryan, you know, his stuff is like intentionally offensive on every level, but so much so that it pushes it to absurdism and it works. But
yeah,
other people's, you know, offensive stuff doesn't land as well. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but lighten up. People should lighten up. They should read the lighter side. Get some Dave Berg. That's what I do whenever I'm offended. I slip into a comfortable Dave Berg strip.
We were not being referred to. The old mad writers were the ones who were being referred to, not us.
Technically, I'm an old mad writer.
You're old.
I'm alive,
and you wrote mad.
It's true. It's true.
Who is this? This is Jack Davis?
Yes.
And writer Frank Jacobs. Here, I'm going to zoom in. I kind of want to read some of these. When you're poor, you're the town weirdo. When you're rich, you're the local eccentric. That's me. That's me right there. Walking around Richfield, Minnesota. When you're poor, you own a mutt. When you're rich, you possess a mixed breed. It is pretty good. I do really love the mirroring of the imagery.
Yeah.
It's just. Now, do you think he traced? Do you think he used a light box to capture him, like certain lines?
I mean, maybe, but the people aren't in the exact same pose at all,
Yeah.
right? They're not. It's not the exact same. He might have used it like a little bit. I would imagine he would use a light table. He was a pro.
Yeah.
Probably used it a little bit at least. There's other ways you could use carbon paper or something just to get the basic position, but none of these look like they're traced from the same image.
No, but I mean, like
for example,
I guess,
if you look at the "when you're poor, when you're rich," you throw your money away on booze, or you have a well-stocked bar. It's like the rich guy's more reclined. His arm is in a different position.
Yeah.
So he probably just eyed it up.
Yeah. Well, he's a master, isn't he? Gosh, he's good.
He's one of the best for sure of all time. I like this the town weirdo. He looks like Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah, he does. Golly. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. There was because this was in an issue that I did a review of. Which one is this from?
Wait, the bottom left one. Are we talking about the Julius Caesar thing, or are we talking about the "when you're rich"?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about the rapping. Mad raps of Shakespeare.
I'm talking about Susie's comment.
Oh. Read the bottom left one. Oh, good point.
Those ones are really close. Oh, no,
Yeah.
wait, I'm looking at the bottom right, bottom left.
Yeah. When you're poor, you vomit. When you're rich, you succumb to a sudden attack of nausea.
He's so good. I almost feel like sometimes Jack Davis's jokes are ruined by how good of an artist he is. Like I can't even like laugh at the joke. I'm too busy appreciating the art.
Yeah. I have no response to that, except.
Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel like
Well, no, I mean, I don't know that I relate to that, to be honest. I think that usually the joke happens like in my mind. Like I have a very like instant reaction to most humor and mad. Like when it was like reading that thing with the Godzilla cause of death, and it was like chokes while eating all of Rosie O'Donnell's head. Like that just made me laugh instantly. And that's usually like, that's my usual reaction if I see something funny. But I always go back and I spend time looking at the artwork. But I don't know. Yeah, so I guess
that's interesting because I see the art first, and like something like this, I could have spent a whole bunch of time looking at this and never read a word of it, and then like flip through and be like, oh, I forgot to read the jokes,
Yeah.
Just because I get so just so enamored with especially with Jack Davis. Like not every artist would do that to me. Like maybe like a Tom Bunk or Jack Davis or Will Elder or something like that.
Well, now that I think about it too, like when I read a comic book, like just a regular American comic book, I read the text first and then I go back and I read it visually. I don't think I read.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're supposed to do both at the same time. It's a merging of form and language.
No, I know. I get it. Didn't you see this book that I'm reading? I'm a intellectual. I know this. I think to an extent I read it visually, but I think I mostly focus on the words, and then I go back and I examine the illustration. Yeah.
I think what I'm saying about Jack Davis, sometimes like his art being too good and overshadowing the humor for me, is particular to Jack Davis, just because his art is so good. It's like on a different level, right? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that. I don't know. Usually when I read a comic, I do try to like read everything at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's become immersed in the experience. But with Mad, maybe it might even be learned behavior with Mad, because I started reading Mad before I could read.
Yeah.
So I came up on the pictures for sure. Beautiful Woodbridge art.
That okay.
I'm sure hilarious Frank Jacobs words.
Yeah, I'm not going to read one of these whole things, but I guess this is like another artist who has like some of those things that carry over between multiple characters. Like he always does these like puffy cheeks, is like on younger people, like sort of like bulbous, not fat cheeks, but like they have food in their mouth or something, like this right here. For the balcony rap for Romeo and Juliet.
This is almost like a stock character for him, this kind of like pimply faced teen or whatever.
Yeah.
This is playing on like some like Bruegel or something elements. Like there's some classic art being referenced here.
Look at, I mean, just like the amount of details that he put into this is just, I mean, it's like, it's insane. He's rendered like all of these bricks. Like, I don't know. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is not, I like the especially the cobblestones.
Yeah.
Going in all the different directions. That's really nice. He has like an etching kind of quality to him. Like he's very much like a 19th century type artist. But he's definitely got like a 20th century sensibility and sense of humor, but his artwork has that like very like Gustave Doré kind of like perfect quality to it.
Do you think he's underappreciated as far as
Woodbridge?
like the Gang of Idiots goes? Because I mean, I feel like if you ask somebody like, you know, name 5 mad artists, or even like name 10 mad artists, how many people would name Woodbridge, but would name other contemporaries of his?
Probably, like, he's definitely like lower on the list in terms of name recognition. I do think his artwork is very recognizable. Like, I think of like people with like jagged teeth and like wet, drooling, kind of like horror. This like virtuoso line work. Like he definitely stands out, and you would recognize him. But I don't know if as many people would recognize him by name, like Jaffe or something on the next page.
Yeah.
But most of the mad artists that are remembered are not the more like technically impressive artists.
Yeah.
You know, or I mean, even artists who are technically impressive, but they're not known for being technically impressive. Like Sergio is like very impressive in like the construction of his work as a craftsman.
Yeah.
But I think he's mostly known as being like a like just kind of like a happy-go-lucky, cartoony kind of style.
Yeah.
And drawing little things and lots of details and silent humor, pantomime humor.
Yeah. Well, and also
like
working
Jaffe.
very quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. When you were saying like with the technical, like Aragones couldn't draw this, or like wouldn't, maybe would be the better term. He wouldn't draw this, but he could compose something as beautiful in his own style, right?
Yeah, he could have illustrated this joke. It wouldn't look like this at all.
Yeah.
But you know, he would have had more chicken fat in here. It would have been very different.
Yeah.
Whereas like this is really drawing on like classic art. Like this is very much like this like hunchback with the and the little person with the ladder. Like it really feels like it's out of like an etching of a Bruegel painting.
Well, I like the conversations we've had. I think like that idea of like technicality, like my idea of quality in artists has changed because and like I'm sort of stuck on this Sergio thing and how his like that the quality of his work comes out in composition, in pantomime, in the storytelling that he can capture in like so few lines. And the technical ability of Woodbridge comes with this sort of like expert.
I think the technical ability of Woodbridge is right at the forefront.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's showing off initially. Whereas Sergio, the technical brilliance is there, but you don't notice it. Like, it's working so well, you don't notice it until you stop and think about it. And then you're like, holy hell, this is, like, incredible. When you start trying to break down, like, a big, like, Gru splash page or something.
Yeah, like Shane Buckley just said.
Yeah.
That I know nothing about Gru. I might have one Gru comic. I'm ignorant.
I really like Death of Gru. It was a Marvel graphic novel when they were doing those.
Yeah.
It's really good. A really good Gru story.
Yeah. The Death of Gru, was it written
I think that's
by
my
Frank
favorite
Miller
Gru
or something?
No, no, it's not that dark, but it's like I don't want to spoil it, but he's thought to be dead.
All right. I'll check it out if there's like a good like contained Gru story. I would.
It's really nice. It's one of those Marvel graphic novels that I've been into lately, from the 80s and 90s, where it's like 50 pages. It's in the larger European format.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's one of the few Gru graphic novels. I think there's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And it's really like, it's succinct. It's a good story. It's a great ending. Probably my favorite. Maybe not my favorite art for Gru, but definitely my favorite story that I've read of Gru.
Nice. The Death of Gru. I'm gonna check that out. Oh, look at we're done. Prescription.
It's also
drugs.
It's also like 12:09 for me.
Oh, holy smokes! Oh,
so we've already been here for 2 hours, but we haven't got to the new. Oh yeah, you have. So there's a new fold-in.
Oh, Johnny Sampson.
You're not going to fold it, are you?
No, I don't want to fold it. And you guys, I did that one time because you and Noah Van Sciver bullied me, and then everybody laughed.
Here, do you want me to send it to you?
Yeah.
You can post it?
Yeah.
I'll send it to you in Instagram.
Okay.
You can download it and upload it as an overlay.
Let me see. This is going to take forever.
Well, it depends on your connection. You could just fold the thing, but, you've got a hang-up about that.
Yeah.
And that's not referring to the famous cracked segment hang-ups.
The cracked hang-ups. All right, how about this? I'm going to, as I wait... Oh, here's the message. Okay.
If you get Susie on here, I want to hear her thoughts on cracked.
Hey, that'd be fun.
That's what I want to hear. And how she compares herself to, like Dick Culpa or someone who was like... Whoever was at the head of cracked, sort of like, in their, like, precarious period. I think she's definitely has a better reputation probably
than Dick Culpa
in terms of definitely better politics.
All right, how do I find this? Where's this?
I sent it to you on Instagram.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I'm talking about on my actual PC.
Well, that's up to you. I don't know where you save it.
Heck, did I save it to documents? Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys ready? All right, well, first off, despite measures taken to ensure the proper disposal of outdated, obsolete, or otherwise unwanted pieces of technology, people still regretfully throw them in the trash. Nowadays, there's a new piece of e-waste that people are actually excited to toss in the bin. To see what it is, fold in as shown. And what does it say?
They're Zoom apps.
There's Zoom apps. Oh, that's very interesting. What is the turnaround on that? Because I mean, that has to be talking about, COVID, right? And like the lockdowns not happening anymore.
Well, it depends where you are.
Depends where you are. That is true. But, oh man, that's cool. I like that. His little people, his faces. I want to get. Oh, that's another person I want to reach out to maybe have on this.
I like the Furby. I like the guy who's like throwing the Furby in the incinerator. And there's a Billy Bass. And a Keytar.
Look, there's a Terminator skull, a Wall-E.
Oh, is that what that is?
I think so. It looks like
that
it.
Makes sense. There's an old Game Boy. There's a Nintendo Switch. A Roomba, I assume. There's Wall-E. I see him.
Yeah.
BB-8 is there. And a drone.
Yeah, I think it's he's doing a great job, man.
He's fantastic. Johnny Sampson is he definitely deserves to be in that. Very, very funny. Very funny guy. Great artwork.
And then finally, that last page, some Frank Frazetta work.
There you go.
It's beautiful. So, hey, Kyle, that's it. We flipped through the latest issue. Find the Furby. We did find it.
There you go.
If you fold it, I'll send you another one. I appreciate that. Never. I'm not going to fold it. Johnny is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Beautiful, Frank. Oh, that was his debut. And then finally...
I like the Boris Vallejo Mad Cuts of Baloney.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen that one? It kind of looks like a Frazetta a bit. But it's Boris Vallejo. I really want that as a poster. Really bad.
Yeah, that's a that's like, it's so great. Wait, what is this?
How come I'm little? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Now I'm too big. I'll back up. Are we about the same?
Is that better now?
About the same size? There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, Kyle, thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. This is this is like the fourth one we've done. I think now it's officially...
Yeah, it's a tradition. It's a tradition now.
Absolutely.
We started a tradition.
Yeah. Tradition.
Have you ever listened to that Steve Goodman Easter
Are you
tapes
just gonna
album?
pretend like I didn't do a great Fiddler on the Roof?
Maybe that's what that's from. Okay.
Yeah, that's what that's from.
I didn't get the reference. There's a Steve Goodman album. It was a musician who died, and he used to go to this radio station on Easter. And when he says, this is the third time, and he says it's a tradition, and then the radio host does that same thing. So I thought maybe like I was referencing an album, but you were referencing the thing the album was referencing.
Yeah.
That's a good album, actually. Steve Goodman, the Easter tapes.
I'm not checking that out. Unlike The Death of Gru. But anyway,
you should check that out.
Hey, I'm trying to wrap this up. Oh, the power went out again. He slammed his can down and his power went out. I cannot believe that. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I've had some really good viewership, and I really appreciate that. If you have not already, please hit that thumbs up button. It does make a difference. Hit subscribe, if you will. We noticed. Hit subscribe, if you would. And check out the new video coming out tomorrow with... Oh, wait. Thanks, you guys, for doing all these flipping throughs. Really appreciate all the props. Well, Susie, thank you so much for the hard work you're doing. We really do appreciate that. Don't end with Fiddler on the Roof, please, and thank you. Even better, we are going to end with my intro, outro. Toodle.